Before you try to access the dark web, let me show you how to do it safely and secure and invisible. They can't touch you. You're Edward Snowden. Snowden level security. Kind of a cool name for a company, actually. Dibs. Before we go to number 1 and I let you loose, you gotta know, the dark web isn't all bad. It was actually created with good intentions to give people anonymity and a platform for free expression. And it has a ton of legitimate uses. So think journalists trying to communicate with people who want to stay hidden, like Edward Snowden. Or people trying to keep their activities hidden from their government, like Edward Snowden. Or if you want to play chess without anybody watching, yes, you can play chess on the dark web like Edward Snowden, I think. He plays chess, right? But seriously, the dark web is kind of a good place, with legitimate websites like the New York Times, BBC, CIA, Facebook. It's all there ready to be accessed securely, and it's awesome, but what makes it awesome also makes it kind of terrifying, because it's the perfect breeding ground for all types of illegal activity. I mean, think about it. If you're a criminal, it's perfect. Anonymity with no oversight. It's like the purge all the time, except in the internet. And have the most fun with this one, trust me. And really, it's one of the only ways I can recommend you use to access the dark web. Anything else, at your own risk. Now here's what we're doing. We're going to create a computer on this USB drive. And that's what you're gonna need, a USB drive like this. The computer we create on this USB drive has goldfish memory. Every time you use it, it forgets that you did. Untraceable. This portable operating system or computer is called Tails Linux, the Amnesic Incognito Live System. And how do you know it's good? Well, it's trusted by Edward Snowden, and he's still chilling in Russia, so it's pretty good. It also uses the Tor network by default, so when you use the super secret portable computer, all your traffic is going across the onions. It's all onions, all the time. I hope you like onions. Now I know it might sound complicated, like how do I get that set up? It's actually not that bad. Again, all you'll need is a USB drive with at least 8 gigs of space, 8 gigabytes, which most have that. I got this on Amazon, like a pack of like 10 for I don't know how much. It was cheap though. And here's how it works. Like, let me show you. Demonstration time. All you'll do is you'll shut down your computer, plug this USB stick in, boot up your computer, and through your boot options say, I want to boot from this guy. Suddenly you're using Tails Linux. It's amazing. Let's get it set up right now. The first thing we'll do is grab our USB stick and plug it into our computer. And by the way, you can do this with almost any computer, as long as it's not too old. But think about that. You want to use your friend's computer for something quick. Maybe you're at the library, Best Buy, I don't know. Maybe don't do that. But you can boot into this stick and not leave a trace of where you've been, what you did, or anything. Powerful. Let's get it set up. We'll then open our web browser and go out to tails.net. From here, we'll click on Install Tails. And while there are a number of ways to run this, the only way recommended is via a USB stick. Go ahead and click on that, and we'll download the Tails USB image. And actually, while that's downloading, we need a way to write that image to our USB stick. The best software I know about is Balena Etcher. Just head out to etcher.balena.io, click on Download Etcher. It's a free software, and I usually download the portable version because I try to avoid installing things. That's just me. And once downloaded, we'll go ahead and launch that. Now, fun fact, the Balena Etcher is what we use to image over 100 SD cards for a Mr. Beast video. That's coming soon. With Balena open, we'll click on Flash from File and choose the Tails image that we just downloaded. Open. Then we'll select our target, which sounds kind of aggressive, but all we're doing is selecting our USB stick. I'll click on that, and then click on Flash. Sorry, a little too much coffee. And let it write that sucker. Now, this is all we have to do, really. Once this is finished, we're done. Then we can just use it. The Flash is complete. Now let's grab our USB stick. And now let's use it to access the dark web in the most secure way. Got my laptop here, and the first thing I'll do is shut the sucker down. I'm currently in Windows, but not for long. Computer is shut down, and now I can safely plug in my USB drive. And with my USB drive plugged in, I'll now boot up my computer. Here's where it gets kind of tricky. You want to get to your boot menu. Here on my laptop, I think it's going to be F12 when I see the BIOS menu come up. Yep, F12 for me. But as soon as your computer starts to boot, you want to press F12, F10, delete, whatever it might be to get to your BIOS boot options. And here, I'm going to scroll down until I get to my USB drive right there. And hit enter. And right now, no hands, here we go, booting into Tails Linux. Now here we're almost ready to start Tails, but we have some options. The main one you might want to consider is creating persistent storage, meaning that some things like your documents and downloads, you may want to keep on there, but you may not want to do that given the fact that you're trying to remain anonymous, leaving no trace. The most secure way is to leave it off, and that's the default behavior. That's kind of cool. Tails has pretty good default security behavior. So we'll go ahead and start Tails. So here we have Tails Linux running on a USB stick, and it's a full-blown OS. Now the first thing we have to worry about is, hey, this guy right here. We are not connected to any kind of Wi-Fi or internet. Let's take care of that. I'll select my network. Now I will say that some people do have issues getting Tails to work with their Wi-Fi drivers, their wireless card drivers. My laptop worked out of the box. I didn't do anything. I'll connect to Pumpkin Juice. But if you have any issues, you can actually buy a wireless little dongle or connection that'll connect you. And if the computer has an Ethernet connection, hardwired with the cable, it'll probably be fine. Now here I've got my Tor connection. I'll connect automatically. Definitely want that. Tor bridge, I'm not gonna cover that here, but if you have issues connecting to Tor, maybe you're being blocked, that's a way to bypass it. I gotta change my display settings. I can't see all my stuff, but notice it's really snappy, it's really quick. And now I can select connect to Tor. And I'll start my Tor browser. Now level 3, this is the best way to access the dark web. A portable computer that forgets you used it. If you want to add on another layer of security, which I do recommend, you could connect to VPN before you connect via Tor here. So VPN, Tor, Tails, all together, that's powerful. And then when you're done, you just shut this thing down. Power off, unplug your USB stick, you were never here.